Hi, good evening, all. This is a real privilege for me to bring in someone from outside India, from US. He is from Trivandrum. That's what makes me very, very proud. And he has been there for the last 40 years, and he is none other than Vimal Kolappa. So, welcome to Dream to Destiny Shop Show, sir. Here I bring in personalities like you to inspire youngsters like us. And thank you very much for joining, sir.
Thank you. You are welcome.
Sir, I know it's a long time from 40 years from India. I have to give a big introduction to you because I just kept it quiet. Who is Vimal Kolappa? He's a big surprise to my audience. I know that, basically you are a millionaire, you run 16 properties and
Let me tell you where my properties are. I have quite a few in North Carolina. Then I have a property in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. Then I have one in Suffolk, Virginia. Then I have another one in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am building one there. I presently own 16 properties. I am constructing 5 properties in 2 states, 4 more in North Carolina, and 1 in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Great, sir.
I have 2 more dual brand, that is Hilton properties. It's 2 properties together. That's a Hampton Inn and Suites and Home 2 Suites by Hilton in Cary, North Carolina. So altogether, we have 5 under various stages of construction, and 2, this dual brand, that is probably the first dual brand of Hampton Inn and Suites and Home 2 together in the country.
Great, sir. Great.
That's about a 250, close to 250 room property.
So I think
So I'm just making the record clear.
Record clear. You have a big inventory, right? So I think, for example, 16 hotels is running, another 8 is coming. And what is the inventory that you're planning? How much inventory would be altogether? The room inventory, if I ask.
Altogether, I would say probably it might be about 2,000 rooms.
Wow, great. And it has been, I think, we have to discuss more, and the people will be very curious to know about Vimal Kolappa. He is the founder of East Coast Hospitality, right? And let us, very privileged, like I said, I'm very proud to say that he's from Kerala, from Trivandrum, has gone to US 40 years before. So let us hear his, childhood memories in India.
Childhood memories, extremely good. I had a very good and interesting childhood. I finished my, I did my nursery in model school. Then I did my 4 years of education in Holy Angels Convent. Then I came back to model school from 5th standard to the 10th standard, SSLC. I passed my SSLC, and then I went into Government Arts College for second group. Even though I had a passion to become a doctor, obviously in Kerala I could not make it at that level of education, or maybe the grades or marks were not enough to join medical school. So I went to do my BCom in Government Arts College. In fact, I was the first batch there.
Oh.
From there, I went to do MCOM in MG College for 1 year, and then I did the first year in MG College for accounting, and second year I went into banking in Marivanis College. So naturally, I would classify myself as an average student all my life for education. But then when I finished my MCOM, I came to US. Father, from the day I was born, he was a businessman. So he had a thriving business. Then, of course, in business, always there are ups and downs. So when the down cycle came, due to various reasons, not his fault, but he was a very dynamic individual. Learned a lot from him about keeping relationships, and he had tremendous amount of friends. And it was his friends and an uncle of mine, of course, he passed away, was the one that supported him in hard times. So sometimes when hard times come, that gives us the incentive to do things a different way, try harder. It gives you a lot of courage, and it gives you a lot of motivation. Only when you lose something, you know the value of it. So I came to America. I joined for MBA. My first job was in a hotel washing dishes because you had to survive.
You said your father has influenced him with you because I want to ask you about your father.
Exactly.
Can
Yeah.
you just tell me about father? Then we'll go to your youngster.
Yes, my father, I would say, was very good at building relationships in for long term. And I would say that the greatest point of what my success in America was building relationships. And then while growing up, you see my father and his brothers, how they do things. You learn a lot from watching your elders and talking to them in an open fashion.
Exactly. Very true.
I have one living uncle, Mr. B. Ramadas. He is my mother's brother. While I was growing up as a human being, he's still living in Baidakyar. He had a lot of integrity in dealing with people, and he helped a lot of people. Wherever he could help people, he did. I would say that some of my success here is following and learning from him on how to make sure that when you say something, you do it. So I learned from him that if he says something, that he will do it, he took the responsibility and did it to the nth degree.
Mhm.
So hard work is what I learned from him, because one day he was a contractor. He had a big contract, I think somewhere in the Karakutam area. It was with the central government. I was using his car to go invite people for a wedding. So he had given his car. So we are now going through that area, and I see a man with a towel on his head and bicycling hard, going up the hill. And it was a very big hill. When the car passed him, the driver said, "Oh, it is Das Modalali." So I turned around and saw my uncle bicycling hard. and I am sitting in his car with others going to invite people. These examples always stuck in your mind. Always. There were, when you say that, yes, I finished my MBA here, but it is what I learned there mattered more in business than anything else in my mind, at least. I had another uncle who was a very well to do guy. He had about 100, those days, 100 Leyland lorries, and his name was Mr. A. Padmanabhan. He was one of the biggest transporting contractors. Even though his education was not that much, he had tremendous amount of organizing capacity. And I used to learn about how he organized his business to an extent where he had a lot of control over it. You know why I'm saying this is because these are the experiences that gave me the fire to do something more than others, to push myself. See,
Understood.
when I used to walk from my railway station to my cousin's sister's house and her husband, who helped me a lot. Okay, husband's name was Shanmuga Sundaram. He is a doctor, and she is also a doctor, Padma Sundaram. They helped me a lot. And at that time, in the night when I used to walk in the snow and ice, I always thought about how one day I have to make it. So that fired the what do you call the ambition in me.
To grow further in
And
the.
there are negative influences where others say to you, they have been negative. But if you ask me, that also fired me up to do better in life.
Yes. So you have been saying about your
See,
father, your uncles, and
yes, there are positive influences and negative influences.
so you took the positive influence and you put it in your life and you want to
Yes, the
apply it.
positive influences I used, but the negative influences also make you somebody that you should, every human being gets negative influences from others.
Okay, got it, sir.
So I have had a guy whom I don't want to mention names said, what can you hope to become? Nothing much in life, right?
Yes,
So that negative influence, you use it to be positive,
understand.
to get there. You
Understand.
should use that only as a stepping stone.
Sir, that question I want to ask,
Please.
have you, have you dreamt that one day you become a founder of a great hospitality company? Because you said you started as a dishwasher in a hotel there.
Yes, yes. See, I to be very honest with you,
Yes, sir.
I always wanted to be somebody, but I never thought I would be this big in forming this company.
All right. Now, let me tell you, how did you understand that this is which was a turning point, sir? Because I know you did your MBA and you have, what made you to start
Yes,
hospitalities?
I worked for a couple of companies. Okay, one was a huge company called Northern Telecom, and then I worked for a bank to get my green card. But everywhere, people associated with me always knew that they could depend on me. Coming back to my uncle Ramadas, he wouldn't accept what I say because he's a humble human being. But the truth is, I learned that if you say something to somebody, you better follow up and do it.
Exactly.
So that is the reputation I have in uh, in Raleigh now, that people come to me for various reasons, and they say, you go to Kolappa, he can resolve these things for you.
The trust factor, you're
That's
talking
the
the
same
trust
way
factor.
that my uncle has lived. He's now 80. He lives in Vedakat now.
Uh-huh.
But see, you got to give credit where credit lies.
Yes,
Maybe I don't agree with him for everything he says, but still, you got to give the credit where it lies.
I understand. So, quick questions. Maybe I
Yeah,
know that American Congress has given a big salute to your mother who passed away in February
yeah.
28. Could you just tell me her influence in your life as well as about what has happened? Because that's a very
Her influence was the same way. She was always a helping character.
Mhm.
She was a honest lady. She always wanted to help others. And I can remember one specific incident, if you want me to say that.
Please, sir, please.
We had, see, I grew up in a household of, very well to do household. So we had a lot of servants. And in summer, cousins will come and stay with us. Some well to do, some not from well to do families. They will all come. But mother, when it came to giving food, she would make us all sit on the ground in a line and serve everybody. So she will also make sure that the servants' children, if they are at our age, they will come and sit there too, in the same line. And then she will, of course, we are non vegetarians, so she will put chicken pieces.
Yeah.
So when she was putting all these chicken pieces, she put a very good chicken piece on the servant's son's
Right.
plate. And in my plate, there was only small wings or something like that. So I asked my mom, how come I am getting the piece that is wings and all that, and the servant's child is getting? I was probably about 9 years old at that time. I said, how is it that the servant's kid is getting the better pieces? So the answer was, you eat chicken
Every
all
day.
the time. They
Correct.
don't.
Yes.
Okay?
Maybe.
Learn. See, that was how I learned sharing.
Great. So I think that's what a lot of influence from her parents, and that good deed would have made her, point. Somebody has posted when she passed away, right? So
Yes,
that's a
that is because of my association with the congressman,
Mhm.
George Holding.
Mhm.
I didn't know he had done that, but that was a world's first
I know.
for an what do you call, a housewife to do that
That's
here.
a very great honor, even though she is just, that's I think great honor that you also and everybody is getting, and she's
Yes.
not okay.
So in cases of my success, I have to always say that my wife had a very great impact on it.
Okay.
She is a psychiatrist, a doctor. She came here, worked really hard, very, very hard. And that was the initial capital that I had. And I have had two other partners with me. And that is how we started the first hotel.
Yeah. Then why did you start hotel as such? What made you to get into hotel? Because you had done your own.
We got associated with somebody who had a independent hotel, and we talked to them. I talked to them, and they wanted to say that, we have uh, that there is an opportunity to put a hotel somewhere. Let us all join together and put it. So we put it together, and that is how the first hotel started.
Okay. What was the first
Then
hotel?
after,
When did you start the hotels? The first hotel, when did you start? Which year?
probably about, I would say about 24 years, 23 years back. Yeah.
Okay, great. And that was
Exact dates and
again,
all that I
and
don't
I
remember.
think
Huh?
your method of operation is that you build hotels and you start to give it to somebody to run it, like Hilton and Holiday Inn, and that's where you
No,
operate.
no, no. See, the Hilton is a franchise. They give you the franchise.
Okay.
We have to run it.
Oh,
But I employ people. Now I employ probably with all my businesses, maybe close to 500 people.
okay. You have
It
only
might it
you have
might go up to about 600, 650.
okay. Now you have only hotel industry. You are into some other business, or you are only into the hotel
Yeah,
business.
I have some chicken franchises also.
Mhm. Okay, great. So it's a and moreover, I think you're involved in a lot of philanthropist activities, I guess.
Yes, I that is the reason is you make money from this country, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Understand.
you got to give something back.
Yeah, very true, sir. Very true.
Holding all the money and putting it in a bank will do nothing for you.
So that
This
is
is for
again.
people who have money.
Hmm.
I'm just giving them an example.
Mhm.
Money, once you are dead, has no use.
Correct. Now,
So,
yeah, I
see,
understand.
this philanthropic activities that I do, and the idea of gratefulness for what people do for me has helped me in my businesses very much, because people know that Vimal Kolappa is a grateful soul. So if I help him anywhere, he will never forget it. See,
Okay. So
that is what I learned from my father and my uncles, or father's brothers and my
brother,
mother's brother who is
others.
still
So
alive.
there are a lot of people
Yes.
you have taken a lot of knowledge from India. Your upbringing from
Yeah.
Kerala has brought you up to this level,
Right.
and it's a good start that you have done in the hospitality industry. And you said you worked in somewhere that with the experience of the wife's money as a capital, you ventured into the hotel. So
Yes.
you had any challenges when you started ventured into the hotel? Did you had any challenges, and how did you mitigate the challenges?
See, challenges are, you cannot, if you are in business or in at work, challenges will be coming to you like the waves don't ever cease. Okay. If you are in front of a ocean and if you want to take a swim, you cannot wait for the waves to cease to take a swim. You will have to learn how to swim in between the waves, or else you will never swim in the sea. So same way, challenges, yes, there will be challenges, they will come, but you should look at it like the cliche says, oh, challenges are opportunities.
Okay.
But what you have to do is, the greater the challenge, the greater the win.
Okay. All right. Great,
See,
sir.
if you look at a challenge and say, well, it is too much, I can't do it, then you will never succeed.
All right.
What is success? Success is a part of you overcoming challenges in life.
Exactly.
Trust me, there are a lot more intelligent people than me who work all their life and get retired.
Mhm.
I know people that studied with me, brilliant guys. All right. I didn't have the kind of brilliance.
So if I say the attitude was what it matters for you to grow.
Exactly. I tell my employees also the same. You can teach somebody the business. You can train somebody to do it right. The one thing that you cannot give somebody is attitude. You cannot pour it in a cup like a cup of juice and say, drink it. From now on, your attitude will be fantastic.
Exactly.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
It is not. The attitude in life is very important. Your success and the way you get the people, the most important thing is your attitude.
Understood. Now, sir, you are
Yeah.
running the hotels, groups, and everything. And how do you rate the hospitality industry? Because given did you enjoy the journey? Do you think that that's your passion to be in the hospitality industry?
Yeah, my passion is, business is my passion. I cannot say hospitality industry, alone is my passion. Doing business, bringing people together and achieving something.
So you are
There
a
is a lot
people's
of
man.
pride
You are a
in,
people's man.
yes, you got to be a people's person,
Mhm.
or else it will be very difficult to do business in America.
Okay. All right. So if I say, I know
Yeah,
all your success has been your, I don't want to say the billions and trillions of assets you own, but
yeah,
I don't want to, I know that it's very huge amount there. But if I ask
yeah.
you, your success, is it people or process? Which one would you count first? Is it because of the people
I
or
would say people. I
people?
would say people. Process comes second.
Second. So you have been
Second.
blessed. You have been blessed with a lot of good people working up for you, and
Yeah, but see, that is how you deal with them.
Mhm.
See, people can find work anywhere, especially in the hospitality industry. But why do they stick with you?
That's what
It is
I'm.
just because how you deal with them. They are not people.
Hmm.
See, we are a bundle of emotions. We are nothing else. We are the results of our experiences. As you asked me, childhood, our interaction with people. See, you got to love people to be in the service industry.
Okay.
See, without relationship, there is no people.
Correct.
Without association, there is no people. Without caring, there is no people. Without sharing, there is no people.
All
So
right.
you got, if you really want to succeed, our children should be taught caring, sharing,
Mhm.
very
Yes.
important.
Great. Yes, caring and sharing. Yeah. Values,
Caring and
relationship,
sharing should be taught.
respect, respect, respect.
Respect, important.
Yes.
See, sometimes when I come to India, I have had this issue. Of course, I learned it from my father, nobody else. He would always, when he is eating, he would ask his driver to sit with him and eat. And my father was a very good gourmet cook. That was his passion, feeding people. Okay?
Mhm.
In those days. So what he used to do was he will call the driver and say, sit down, I am making the chicken curry. So he will eat with them in the same table. That was in India, okay, 40 years back or 50 years back, because I have seen that happen. So when I came back to India, sometimes in Madras or somewhere where you take a rental car and the driver will be there. So when I'm going to a good restaurant to eat with friends, the driver will say, "Sir, I will go eat somewhere else."
Mhm.
To me, normally, I would say, "Why? Come sit with us and eat."
Yeah.
So I'll bring him there and make him sit near me. Some
Exactly.
of my friends said, "This is not the culture here.
No,
You
no.
are doing that. You shouldn't be doing that."
No, I
So
disagree.
I
Yes.
see they might be right because that is their way of thinking things through. Okay, we see here it is nothing. See here when I go to my hotels, and if there is a breakfast buffet, and even when my staff are eating, I never go in front. I always stand in line with them. You with me?
Well
Now,
appreciated.
there are some very good examples in India itself, like Ratan Tata
Yes.
taking care of his employees
Yes.
and how he does that.
Correct.
These are all very good examples for us to follow.